everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Metro Nicole, and today's video is going to be like my little monthly reset cleaning motivation. Certain areas of my homes at least once a month, and that will include like dusting, cleaning the blinds, cleaning the doors, and cleaning the windows, and eventually I want to get like a Pacific mop to clean the walls. Buying some things as far as some new cleaning tools that I want to get. I'm just trying to pace myself and not buy a bunch of stuff at one time. But yeah, so if there's something you're interested in or need a little bit of cleaning motivation, stay tuned. Okay guys, so when it comes to cleaning the windows and everything downstairs, I'm just going to use some vinegar and Dawn dish soap. I heard that's a really good alternative for cleaning, and this will be my first time trying that. Now when I go upstairs, I want to clean the doors and the windows, and I'll probably use the same thing, but for the doors I may end up using the watermelon fabuloso, and I'm just trying to keep with simple scents, nothing too strong. And go from there. And I'm also gonna first dust everything first, and then I'll clean everything. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna start off with dusting both sides of the blinds before I begin to do the white vinegar and dish soap mixture. And on this window I only used that mixture. I did find that even after I finished wiping down the windows, it didn't leave any streaking, it didn't leave any dry spots, so I thought that was really good. Now on this window I did the same thing. I dusted both sides of the blinds, and I also cleaned the window as well, and I decided to use a Fabuloso mixture instead of the white vinegar and Dawn soap because I wanted to compare the two, and I noticed that the Fabuloso of course left some streaking. So after all the windows are done, I decided to make sure I dusted the fan, I dusted around the TV, I dusted these blinds, and these blinds actually I added myself. When you first move into the home, that back door window is completely open, so you have to get creative. Hey guys, so I wanted to try adding baking soda and an essential oil to my carpet and then vacuum it up. We all know the baking soda is a natural deodorizer, and I thought to add the lemon scent. I did get this from other cleaning YouTubers, and I decided to put it in this. I saw someone use this as well, so I'm gonna give it a try and see how well it goes. All right. I think what I might end up doing, because I don't have any thick chunks to kind of put in here, so my next attempt to try this, I may make my own, so when I get ready to use this, it'll be more easier to use, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on the carpet, not a lot. Yeah, I think I might make my own little balls. So this is the dirt that I have. I don't know if you guys see that. That all came from just downstairs. And I do see the baking soda in it, because that was my concern, is making sure that I need to really clean this out. But yeah, And actually, as I'm vacuuming, I smell the lemon scent, so that's amazing. We've now moved on to the stairs. This may be my first time vacuuming the stairs since I've moved in, but I honestly do not like vacuuming the stairs. They completely wear me out. I do have a smaller attachment for this vacuum, but I forgot to look for it, and I said, you know what, let me just detach what I have and just go ahead and use the bottom piece of the regular vacuum. And sometimes I like using that bottom piece anyway because it's wider. Now you can see me just moving on to wiping the doors. I did decide to only use watermelon fabuloso, and as I was wiping the doors, to me, I don't feel like these doors are real wood or like that more wood texture. So I don't think I'm going to be doing these too often because I don't want the doors, especially at the bottom, to warp. So I may have to find another alternative. But yeah, I'm just going to continue to wipe all the doors. And my daughter, when she got home, she didn't smell any different. So I thought that was a good thing because she is more sensitive to smells. And I also wiped all the doorknobs. I wiped the front and back of each door. I wiped the light switches. And this just helps cut down on germs because, of course, those are high touch areas. And I will continue to wipe those down frequently. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, this really took a lot out of me, and this is actually a full day of cleaning because I did have intentions of coming back another day to finish up some things, and I was like, no, let me just kind of push through and get through it. And on this window I used the watermelon fabuloso as well, and just wiping everything down, making sure everything's good to go. And this is just the aftermath of wiping stuff down. It actually was a little bit darker in person than on camera. And I hope this is really kind of motivating you guys to just try to get in the habit of wiping, especially those highest surface areas, down monthly, and just keeping the dust down as well. I did want to go ahead and go into a little story time on our New York trip. And we took that trip back in July. It was for my girl's 16th birthday. And I wanted to do something just special for them. They was turning 16. And I was just back and forth of what to do. I just wanted to go somewhere new that we haven't been before. And I don't know how much of the story I have told. I know when I did my original video, I think a couple of months, maybe a month ago, about me coming back. So I'm just going to kind of share a few things while you guys watch me clean. And hey, go ahead and get your cleaning products and listen to me talk while we're cleaning. So again, I decided to go with New York because I saw another YouTuber. She was a single mom herself, and she took her kids to New York. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. And I actually saw another mom do it as well, so that really encouraged me because I was really nervous traveling out of state, and I was trying to keep this as a complete surprise to my girls, but unfortunately I did spill the beans to one of them. We were in the orthodontist office and she needed braces. So as I was sitting in the orthodontist, I was just playing back in my mind, talking loud at the same time. And also, before I continue, I decided to just go ahead and add the essential oils to the baking soda box, and that actually kind of worked out really well. And I'm gonna stick with this, you guys. I really love the lemon scent. I felt like the baking soda did a wonderful job, and it's just a really cheap method, so definitely give it a try. But back to my story. We were in the dentist office, we were in the orthodontist office, and I was like, oh, I gotta try to figure out when is the best time to get your braces. Should we do it before the New York trip or after our trip? And I said it out loud, and you should have seen the face of my daughter. Her mouth dropped open, and I was like, oh my gosh, did I say that out loud? So that's how I spilled the beans. But my other daughter, she didn't mind. And when I got back home, I said, okay, I accidentally told your sister, do you want to know where to go? And she said no. So it was just so hard to keep it in because my mind was going back and forth trying to figure out what we're going to do, etc. So with that being said, I put the one daughter, I told her that I told her where we're going. I put her in charge of finding something to eat. I gotta kind of make up some little nicknames for them so I'm not keep saying daughter, daughter, daughter. But we'll figure it out. But anywho, I ended up finding a hotel that I really liked, and it gave very good reviews of cleanliness. So thought it was perfect. So we booked the hotel. I made an itinerary of stuff that we could do. I went kind of like, I gave us a variety of things we could do because, again, it's my first time. I don't know what to expect. I don't, you're just trying to go with the flow, but also not have too much of a strict regimen. But when we got to the airport the day of our trip, I think we left on a Saturday, and I ended up overpacking. I had last time I've been on a plane was in high school, maybe, I can't remember, and I overpacked, of course, and the guy was gonna have to charge me like $130, but by the grace of God, he said, I'm not gonna charge you. So we were able to get everything in, but I knew in the back of my mind, okay, we were gonna go shopping up there, so I knew I was gonna have to get another bag because there's no way I can stuff what I need in this bag. But I ended up figuring out what kind of made me over budget. Over weight is that we had too many. Like my daughter had a lot of Bath and Body Works sprays, and those little liquids, like, they make a huge difference. And I just had too much stuff going on. I had like cleaning products. I was just doing the most. So going forward, I know what I need to pack next time and then what not to pack. So when we got to the airport, we ended up flying into JFK. I feel like if you're going to New York, Manhattan area, go ahead and do LaGuardia. I believe that was the second one. That one is much closer. But I noticed that if I changed my flight, that it was going to be more money. And I really didn't want to continue to add more money because we ended up we changed our seats to Delta Comfort going to New York, and that plane was smaller, so I did not enjoy the plane ride going there. Coming back, it was fine, but going there, I didn't like it. I'm just being honest. So when we got to the airport, I was indecisive if I should. And now JFK Airport is huge, by the way, but when we got to the airport, I was debating if we were going to take a taxi or a Uber. And I didn't really feel comfortable doing the taxi, so I decided to go ahead and do an Uber. That was $100 going from the JFK airport to our hotel, and it was like almost a good hour drive. So we got to the hotel, and as I'm checking in, because we still had like maybe 3 or 4 hours before we can officially check in, the hotel guy was saying, well, we kind of ran out of rooms. Do you mind just getting one king bed and a pull-out? And I know me, and I know my kids, and I said, that's not going to work. I said, I booked this hotel months ago. I said, no, you're going to have to put us in 2 queen beds. And he was kind of like, well, I said, nope. I said, I stood my ground. I said, I want 2 queen beds. I said, that's what I booked. And I'm thinking in my mind, it's a personal problem for anybody else because that has nothing to do with me. So long story short, I was able to get what I wanted, which is what I booked, the 2 queens. So we left our luggage there, and then we went ahead and got something to eat. We did a little bit of shopping, and then we maybe had like an hour before check-in, and I was exhausted. My kids were exhausted. So we went back to the hotel to chill out, and we were able to finally check in. I cleaned up the hotel room. I didn't really video anything, guys. It had been months since I videoed, and I was just so exhausted, but at the same time I was just trying to enjoy the trip with my girls. I bought all my camera equipment, but I just didn't do anything. But I do have some clips on my phone, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to insert them in this or not. But anywho, we ended up sleeping. We got some food, and that was kind of like our day one, to be honest. The second day is where we had some more things planned. We planned the trip to the National Arts Museum. That was like my one of my daughters. She's an art person. She loved it. She was in her element. And then we went to the Summerall. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Is where you can overview all of Manhattan, and it was beautiful. It was just a very long wait. It was just a long day, but it was still pretty. So we did that. We got some dinner, and then the next day we ended up doing a water taxi to see the Statue of Liberty. That was my favorite part. That was the one thing I wanted to make sure we did. So we did a lot of shopping, a lot of walking, of course. So I feel like, if you're a single mom and you want to take your trips, I think they're very doable, but just try to plan ahead. And I felt a little bit overwhelmed in the beginning because, of course, New York is huge. So I ended up having to try to make myself more of a map to figure out where everything was, so we weren't walking from 6 blocks to the left for one thing, and especially if you're shopping, and then walking 6 blocks back to the right and back, like you're walking back and forth. So I tried to group whatever stores we wanted to see on whatever, like 6th Street, and then go ahead and see whatever stores we want to see on the other side. It was just no sense of us walking back and forth. So that's how I kind of grouped everything together. I prefer taking Ubers. I did not do subways. It was recommended that it was safer to not do that by ourselves. But if I go back, I think it'll be fun to go with a group of girlfriends or other set of adults. After about 5-6 hours, my kids were over all the walking, which I get it. But other than that, they said they had a good time, so that's what was most important. I'm definitely looking forward to hopefully doing a vacation again next year, but I want to do something more tropical. I think I've said that before. So we'll see what happens, or I may have to save it until they graduate high school because they are juniors now. But I hope you guys truly enjoyed this video, and I hope that my little story time was kind of helpful. And again, I highly suggest making plans to travel with just you and your kids. Just make sure you remain safe and look at all your options. Though please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.